What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 3&D podcast, the home of Australia's favourite basketball podcast. I'm Nabs and I'm joined by Moz.
The one and only.
Yoz is absent, unfortunately, so we're going to have to ride this one as a duo.
I think we're going to get used to it for a while.
The Three Musketeers ain't here.
It's down to two.
Down to two. So let's kick things off with the Olympics. So the Olympics are finally over. The Americans took it out decisively. They took the gold. They did have a bit of a challenge, but they got there in the end. Now, with the Olympics finished, that means that we are well and truly into the off-season.
Yes.
And that means...
your typical A1 stories.
That's right. So... it starts off as always with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons
shooting trees.
Ben Simmons looking like he's going to be
Steph
a
Curry.
deadly, triple
Sniper.
threat in the off
from
season.
the parking lot.
We also have Zion Williamson, as always, every year since he's been here. His weight, he's lost weight again, so we have to talk about his weight in the off season.
They're saying
again.
he's looking like Wembanyama.
And another storyline, it's almost like it's on repeat.
Always.
Lonzo Ball making his comeback, looking healthy in the gym, doing his workouts.
Yeah, he's playing 5-on-5s now, isn't he?
I mean, these are always the same storylines. And what else is there? Well, we've also got Ja Morant. Ja Morant in the gym doing gym rat things, but still not working on his shooter. Like, he's still not working on his jump shot. You see him doing the same stuff that he does all year round.
He needs to go to shooting range.
But we need him to develop a powerful jump shot, like a deadly jump shot. With that, he would be unstoppable. He already is absolutely amazing, top tier. And of course, with the off season also comes the players traveling around, going on tours, in particular, China.
The Chinese.
And that's where we're going to start today. So with the China tours that have been going on, they're independent. They're not all the same tours. There's been some really interesting clips coming from some of these exhibition shows, matches, clinics, whatever, from the Millennial Goat. Yeah, unfortunately, it's starring the Millennial Goat, Mr. PG-13 himself.
Mr. Kyrie and Anthony's goat.
So I'm going to play a couple of clips and we're just going to react to them. So let us get that going. So first up, I already shared the clip with him doing that dribble and losing it. Yeah. I think their team was also losing. It was a charity match for Yao Ming. But this one was an exhibition match. I think it was for Nike or something. So let's have a look at Mr. Paul George himself.
Showing out his skills. There's a shot.
He's got range. Oh, look at that. Drops the first one.
Rattles in.
Oh.
Brick.
He's missed that shot.
Brick.
Oh, missed it short again. Oh, 3 short.
We're officially in Brick City. Brick City.
He's got good aim. He keeps hitting the front of that ring.
He's building houses.
When I first saw this, I thought maybe their rings are different.
No.
I was trying to give it the benefit of the
He's
doubt.
investing in real estate.
Missed it short again.
He's building houses.
Missed it short
China.
again. Every one of them, front of the ring.
He's become a real estate mogul.
That one was way off. That one was wide and right.
That one's a southpaw.
How many has he missed in a row?
9.
There you go. Finally.
I like how the crowd starts clapping for him.
Wow.
2 from 10.
Wow.
I reckon I could beat it.
I don't think I've missed 8 3-pointers in a row.
And he does it for a living.
In game, maybe. But
He's a shocker.
Wow. Now, also, I wanted to get your reaction on this one. This is another China highlight. Where is it? Okay, Mr. Jason. This one's featuring Mr. Jason Tatum. I want you to tell me if there's anyone that reminds you, if this reminds you of anyone.
The team back behind the back crossover.
Actually, no, don't worry about that. Let's replay that clip. Sorry. All right. Tell me if this reminds you of anyone. Miss.
Yeah.
Miss.
Spencer.
Miss. 3 misses at the ring.
Spencer.
And then finally has to use his height to get a dunk on this poor little amateur hooper.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw this, the first thing I thought, I don't know about you, but the first thing that I thought was...
These guys are NBA players.
I thought of Miss Angel Reese herself.
I don't watch NBA, WNBA.
She's leading everyone in these double doubles this year, right? Check this out. This is how she gets them.
How?
She pulls a Jason Tatum, or Jason Tatum pulls an Angel Reese.
Yeah, but she finishes.
That's 3.
She doesn't fish it?
4.
No.
She's got 4 rebounds off that play.
That's hectic. She got a foul out of it? Did she make the 2?
Another 6 and she's done.
I wouldn't complain. If she got the points out of that possession, she can go for 20. I don't care.
So that's the China tour. What do you think of these Chinese hoopers, the Chinese exhibition matches? I mean,
they're making me yawn.
So
they're disgusting. This is them trying to show the NBA product that it's at its highest.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, and I know we did a whole episode on Michael Jordan last week, or last episode, and I don't want to rehash old things, but do you think players like Michael Jordan would go to China and miss like that much?
I don't know if you remember. There was a clip that was out years ago of Jordan going to China, and they set up this little funny drill for him where they had various amounts of basketball rings with backboards at different sizes and different heights. Maybe we'll bring it up for a clip of the week. And he didn't miss one single shot. Actually, he did miss one, but he got it back.
See, I saw the one with...
That was pretty, yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I've seen the one with Klay Thompson and Steph in Japan, where they had all those weird gimmicks where they had the guy with 5 arms or 6 arms guarding him, and a giant like mannequin blocking his shots, so he couldn't make anything. And then on the other side, they had a massive hoop for the other team.
That's Zeddy.
I saw that.
Yeah, but nothing like missing bloody 8-9 shots in a row.
No, that's embarrassing. So sticking on Paul George, Ty Lue. So Paul George has been traded in the offseason. It was one of the biggest trades he's going from the Clippers to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good.
And Ty Lue had a recent statement. I'm going to read you the statement. So I think when he was asked what would the Clippers look like without Paul George, this is what
it looked like. They get
Ty
shots
Lue,
in.
is what Ty Lue said. He says he wants to prove everybody wrong. That when you lose a guy like Paul George's stature, people think they can't win. I can't wait to prove everybody wrong. So that's Mr. Ty Lue. And I think he's buzzing. He's probably got that Olympic gold fever buzz, coming back from the Olympics.
Who's he got?
Motivated.
He's got Mr. Injury for the whole season, and James Harden no-show on the playoffs.
Well, his roster is James Harden, Terrence Mann, Derrick Jones Jr.,
Fail.
Kawhi Leonard, and Ivica Zubac.
And that's supposed to be a title contending
That's
team.
the projected starting 5.
That's a title contending team as for fail.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much for bringing in the feds to the new arena.
Yeah, there's got to be another move to make. I mean, they've got some exciting players in...
and they let Paul George walk. They didn't even trade him. They lost him for nothing.
There wasn't a sign and trade. I think they got picks, didn't they?
No. They got nothing. They just let him walk.
I have to double check that. I think they did get picks. I remember we did this in one of the earlier episodes.
I don't think so.
But in any case, you're right. I don't think it's a contending roster.
No, definitely not.
Their bench, I mean, they've got some high flyers. I got to admit, if it's excitement that you want, they've got Derrick Jones Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Bones Highland, Kai Jones. They can be some exciting players.
They're not a top 10 West Conference.
I'm saying, like in the open court, they're going to give you some, highlight reel type of dunks. But other than that, I mean,
no, they're like a
poor man's version. Do you want to be a bottom feeder? Like what's going on?
They're like a poor man's version of Charlotte Hornets.
A rich man's version, actually.
That poor man.
They've got some solid. See, the Hornets didn't have any vets, like any proper vets. I mean, you can't count Gordon Hayward, unfortunately. They didn't have any proper vets. At least these guys have some vets.
I'm responding to your high flying
Finals MVP and MVP. I mean,
no, they're over and done.
I'm saying they're better than the Hornets in that sense. They're rich man's Hornets.
No, but Hornets are more entertaining.
Yeah, fair enough. So in other news, one of the massive stories to come out today is, well, actually, before we get to that, so we're going to speak about Steph Curry.
Mr. Stefan.
Now, Steph, after the Olympics, he came out, before I say this, I want to know who is following
there has to be a bot.
The changes of description in someone's bio. Like, I know there's some really crazy fans, right? Like some really
America
fans, but
that's what they do.
To follow a player to the point where they actually know when he changes something in his bio of his Instagram. I would
not be surprised if it was paparazzi or TMZ.
I'd love to know.
That's their job.
I'd love to know. If it's bots, I mean, I get it, but that's crazy. So the story is, after the Olympics, Curry actually removed from his bio, there was a thing that said guard for the Warriors. Okay, so he had a whole list of things that he mentioned, father, husband, blah, 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 blah. And then the last part was, or one of the last parts was guard for the Warriors. So after the Olympics, he deleted that.
Delete.
And there was a lot of discussion back and forth, as expected. It was all over the media.
The socials.
Yeah, and they were talking about, what does this mean? Is this like a message? Is this, with all the excitement following the Olympics, playing with LeBron and KD, is this a sign that, Steph is on his way out? There was all those types of rumors. Even myself, I got caught up in it. I started thinking, I wonder if this is, maybe because they didn't make because the Warriors didn't make any big moves.
No, they didn't.
So I started thinking, I wonder if this actually is legit, if Steph is actually on his way out. But not too long after, the Warriors, there was news which came out today, that the Warriors had offered him, had signed him for another 1-year contract for $62 million.
Yeah, 1-year extension.
An extension of 1 year.
26?
62.26. So, yeah, Curry is now under contract through 2026, 2027. So what does that mean? So next season is 2024, 2025, then 2025, 2026. So 3 more years he's with the Warriors. I don't get this. Maybe you can give me some more, they've extended him 1 year, but he's still got 2 years left on his contract. How does that work?
I don't know why they've done it. I've got a feeling they've done it this early to save some money, but also to secure him for the long run so they don't lose him. And as far as the 1 year deal, it's because he's going to be over 38, and with the new NBA rule, anyone over 38 max contract is 1 year at a time.
What do you think of this? Do you think that this is the Warriors preparing for the future because they didn't make any major moves. Everyone's still thinking that there's still one more move that they're planning, come the start of the season or before the trade deadline.
If they don't make a move before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline, then my assumption would be the tanking this season to make a big move in the offseason because they missed out on Larry Markkinen, which they were in big talks with.
Paul George.
Not so much Paul George. I think they wanted Larry Markkinen more.
No, there was strong, discussions about Paul George.
They didn't want to trade B-Pod. I'm not sure why.
There's something on that as well. I'll let you finish your thought.
And who else were they after? I can't remember off the top of my head. No, after someone else.
So,
but yeah,
Markkinen and Paul George were the biggest names that were thrown around. And as the players became less and less available.
Well, they couldn't get Paul George because Clippers didn't want to do a sign trade with the Warriors.
Yeah.
So that was one. And they couldn't get Markkinen because they didn't want to let go of B-Pods, which I still don't know why. But yeah.
So with B-Pods, firstly, actually on this, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Had you have asked me before the Olympics, I would have said, no, Steph is a lifer. He's going to be with the Warriors for life. As the Olympics rolled on, I started seeing like Curry light up playing with KD again, and just seeing them on and off the court. They look like, they're picking up where they left off. Seeing him around LeBron, there's an odd, camaraderie between them. I have to buy into the hype. I think there's a possibility that they're trying to connect somehow. I don't know how, but I don't think it's at the Warriors anymore. I thought they might make a run for KD again to try to get him back and he'd take less and whatever. But that's not happening. So all I can think about is it's got to be another team. I don't know how it'll work.
There is one big play the Warriors are banking on. If they don't make a move by deadline, I think it will cement their thought process of what they're trying to do. And that will be to wait out to see what happens with Phoenix Suns this year. And if they don't perform, that team will definitely get blown up.
So Ishbia made a statement recently. Matt Ishbia. Did you see that?
No, but there is a statement that Steve Kerr made that had some eyebrows raised about who they could be potentially pursuing next offseason.
About D-Book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So what did he say exactly? It's just to fill everyone
So
in.
he was pretty much overlooked, and to summarize it, he was trying to say he's the player that would be best suited in that second position.
You're right. That was what was insinuated. So basically it was saying that with all the hype around all these other players and whatnot, D-Book was the most underrated in the squad, the Olympic squad. Without him, they don't win. And, following up from the previous comments from losing the World Cup where Kuzma posted on Twitter, you guys the USA roster needs a person who doesn't care about the ball, who's not ball dominant, who will just do the nitty-gritty work.
Correct.
That will play 48 minutes and, be that glue guy.
Yep.
Basically. He said it more succinctly.
And D-Book replied, I will.
D-Book, basically he said, I will.
And that's
what he did.
Yeah,
and that's what he did. Credit
kind of
to
player
him.
Steve Kerr likes.
Credit to him. Yeah, he's a coach's player.
Not just that. He reminds me of...
but he hasn't been that for the Phoenix Suns. No. That's what I don't get.
I'm not sure why. But, yeah, everyone's banking to see what happens with Phoenix.
And Ishbia actually came out because this was the talk, actually. They were saying that people are going to be looking at splitting up the Suns if they don't perform. And Ishbia straight away sent a message saying that we are rolling with them till the wheels fall off. There is absolutely no division or any negativity around them. But just like everyone says, if you don't start strong, questions will be raised, especially with a roster that big or that deep or that, expensive.
Well, it's not deep. That's the problem.
It's
expensive. Really expensive.
Yeah. So I think they made a bad decision getting rid of Mikal Bridges.
Yes.
And Cam Johnson. But the problem, Cam Johnson hasn't been as good as he was at Phoenix since he's been traded. So that's a bit of a letdown. So this is going to be a very interesting season this season. I want to see what happens come trade deadline. That'll be really interesting.
Well, I want to see what happens in general around the whole league around trade deadline, because I feel like the key players in the NBA really didn't make a big move this offseason or yet.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Denver Nuggets signing Westbrook, was that really like the key?
Well, Jokic wanted him.
I understand, but is that gonna elevate them to be a title contender now?
I think
because OKC is a very strong team, man, and now you got Spurs. I see Denver Nuggets being in the same spot they finished up on last season.
Look, I see teams like this, it's the same as the previous year, the Utah Jazz had the hot start, remember?
Yeah.
I saw OKC's last season as the Utah Jazz. I think coming into this season, I don't think they'll be, underestimated as much.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the perseverance, the mental, the drive to maintain it for another 82 games? That's what I don't know. That'll be their best test.
They're young enough.
And they're rolling it back. They're running it back. There's really not much changes for OKC.
Who'd they end up getting? I
think they added a vet.
They got rid of Josh Giddey for who? Who did they get off Chicago?
I forget. Did Lonzo go there? No.
Who
did they get?
They got someone. They got someone for Josh Giddey, but
it wasn't Patrick Williams or someone like that, was it?
I can't remember.
We did this trade one already, man. I can't remember.
But that was the biggest move they did all off season was getting rid of Josh Giddey.
Yeah,
I think that frees up the game minutes a lot between the guards, so makes it easier for coaching. I believe they'll be able to free up the minutes between the other guards and.
So you spoke about, I want to come back to the Nuggets. You spoke about Russell Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
Look, for me, I can't find it. For me, the thing I like about the Russell Westbrook move is he brings energy. And there's been times with the Nuggets that they've actually been in a lull, like in parts of the game.
Well, I've already said who they needed to get rid of.
Murray?
No.
Who?
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I still don't think the coach is playing him right.
He's stagnant. If
they've got him as a catch and shoot.
That's what I mean.
I think if you played him similar to the way that they play Gordon, I reckon he'll be much more effective. He's got the height. I don't get why he plays him just as a stretch.
That's what I mean. He's just stagnated. He's pretty much...
Yeah, I think that's a coaching problem. I honestly think that's a coaching problem. Send him to the Warriors, man.
Well, that's the thing. Look at who the players they could get for him.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Last season was probably the best season to get rid of him, or even the season before. Yeah, with up against the Lakers, those big games that he had.
They could have... Well, I reckon Denver Nuggets could have made a big run for Larry Markkinen as well. No, I don't think because Larry Markkinen can spread the floor and shoot those threes.
He's already up there as well.
Yeah, he's a 7-footer.
Denver and Utah are not,
But I
to
don't
the
know,
similar.
man. Like,
They're both in the mountains.
this is why I don't understand. Like, did they have key pieces that can move around? They just didn't do it.
I think Murray needs a bit of a jolt. I think there's something not right there. We saw it in the Olympics.
Yeah, it was
Something's
absent.
not right. And towards the end of the season, we were getting that from him as well.
He's turning
He
into
had big shots, but he wasn't consistent
he's
throughout.
turning into Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
Hmm.
You're right. It was a lot like that. He would be absent for most of the game in some parts when they needed him most as well. But just on Russell Westbrook, this is a kind of a something, nothing, or everything moment. I don't know if you saw this, but for the Nuggets, number 0, which is Russell Westbrook's number, is Chris Brown. Christian Brown. Brown.
Yeah.
Spells it like a weirdo.
Yeah, Christian Brown.
So he has number 0, and he actually said that he doesn't want to swap with Russell Westbrook. He doesn't want to give Westbrook number 0.
Good.
He wants to keep it.
Yeah.
And there was a big uproar in the media about this.
Why?
Russell Westbrook got ahead of it, and because at first I thought, oof, this is a locker room problem.
Yeah.
100% this is a locker room problem. You got new guy Christian Brown.
Yeah.
And
he's the old guy now.
And
the new guy's coming in.
But the vet, the MVP.
Yeah.
The
ex-MVP.
The first ballot Hall of Famer.
The stat padder.
Is asking for his number, and you're saying no to him.
That's gangster.
That's some big cojones.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
So Russell Westbrook straight away. So firstly, what do you think about that? Before
I like
say
Christian
what
Brown. Honestly, I would start him over MPJ.
Yeah.
He's a solid player.
He's a bit undersized, but yeah, he's
effective.
He's an energy
He's a very
guy.
effective player.
It's almost like, you know what's funny? Is I feel like Russell Westbrook and Christian Brown, they're going to be battling for position next season.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I think they've got the same type of roles. Although, obviously, Russell Westbrook is probably more ball dominant. But in terms of the way they play, because Christian Brown is brought on for energy as well.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Especially for defense. But he's brought on for defense.
Yeah, and now seeing this, it's almost like a prelude to what we might see next season. It could be a good thing for the locker room.
This is why this roster doesn't make sense to me, because MPJ is lacking on the defensive end as it is, energy-wise. He's got the talent to be a good defensive player, but just lacks the effort at some games. And if Westbrook's on the same court as him at the same time, then you're going to be a very big defensive liability team.
Yeah, you're right, because both of them they're almost the same. Same size, same. I'm pretty sure they're almost the same height, same size.
MPJ?
No, I'm talking about these two.
Oh, yeah. Chris Brown's taller.
Is he?
Yeah.
So what you're saying, when MPJ and Westbrook are on the court together, you think that's going to be a problem?
Yeah, because
why?
They're both low caliber defensive players. That's two now key players that are going to be hunted to get switched on.
But they're going to be playing against the second unit.
Not really.
I don't think
MPJ is a starter.
Yeah, but I think they're going to stagger. So they'll take off Jokic and Murray and leave. Then
the Nuggets play high minutes for the role players.
The way I would play Westbrook is whenever whenever Murray's off, throw Westbrook on.
That's what I mean.
And get him the drive and kick.
But the problem is Jokic.
You got MPJ in the corner. Sit him in the corner.
No, so the problem with that is, if you watch the Nuggets, the three players that get the high minutes is Jokic, Murray, and MPJ. Aaron Gordon's the one that gets switched. So I'm assuming Aaron Gordon will come off, Westbrook will come on.
Yeah, they'd get in each other's way because Aaron Gordon plays, low post.
Because the way I'm looking at it is, You want to replace a high flyer with another high flyer, and that's Westbrook.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Having Aaron Gordon and Westbrook wouldn't make sense on the court.
Because they're both going to be cutting that baseline.
It's going to be too congested in the middle, especially if Jokic is there. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a weird... This will be an interesting setup. So, back to the jersey issue.
Yeah.
Westbrook actually released a statement, and this is a very mature thing. I got to admit, I got to hand it to Westbrook. So his statement read something along the lines of, leave this young star alone. And he pretty much denied everything. I didn't ask him for the number. I'm happy to be number 4, et cetera, et cetera. So he bitched out, basically. But I think that's a very mature thing.
He understands where his career is at the moment.
I think he understands what he wants from the teams. I think he wants to win. I think this is his best chance to win.
Possibly.
I mean, let's look at it. Denver Nuggets have always been on top for the past 3-4 years. They're going to be a
top 5 team regardless.
Yeah. This is his best chance.
If they manage...
And he knows the only thing that will ruin it is
chemistry.
If there's any unity issues or anything in the locker room. Yeah, 100%. So very mature. I got to hand it to him.
Who's their coach again?
Michael Malone.
Did
they sack him? No, they didn't.
No, they love him.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting for me. Now, we spoke about Mikal Bridges. This is a little interesting thing. Thought you might enjoy this.
What's this?
Now, we obviously don't like the GayFLs or the AFLs or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Australian Football League.
Yeah.
But his celebration made it all the way to the AFL.
Did it really?
Mikal's celebration.
Yeah. Why? There's no 3-pointer in the AFL.
Yeah, they do. They have that. The middle is the 6 points.
Yeah, another one's
3 points, and then 1 point. What?
The middle is 6 points.
6, and then 1 point on the sides.
Yeah,
right?
there's no 3-pointer.
Yeah, but still.
I don't understand it.
Some of the, look, I got to admit, as much as I hate AFL, some of the kicks that they have to do to try to bend it through the post and things like that, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've done them before. I used to play.
I could imagine if I get one of those kicks in.
Yeah, but I don't understand the celebration. I don't get it.
He's obviously a fan.
I don't get
it. But that's
he's a fan, but I don't get it. That's a giddy.
That was pretty cool. I don't get it.
I do not get it.
So that's it for the off season. There's not really much more that I wanted to touch on with the off
let's
season.
Speculate, since off season's kind of been a bit bland. Or not speculate, but let's go a little bit further and dissect what we would like to see.
What do you mean?
What do you think we would like to be done this off season to spice it up for the new season coming up?
From which perspective? Players' perspective, teams?
Moving players, any stories of bringing in old players from the Chinese league or whoever's playing outside of the NBA? Coach changes. I'm looking at the Milwaukee Bucks. I feel like they're a bit too quiet for me, and they could be lurking around to get some solid pieces to build that shitty bench that they've got.
It's not really much I'm looking at. One thing I'm excited to see is New York. The starting 5 is old teammates.
Oh yeah,
I mean that'll
be interesting to see.
Just think about that.
Yeah,
you went to college.
Villanova.
You went to college together.
Yeah,
and now you're playing in the Garden.
You know who did
MSG.
That? You know who did that? The Fabulous Four. Is that what they were nicknamed?
Yeah. But they didn't all play together.
No, they tried to.
But I'm saying, I haven't looked at the stats, but I don't think it's ever been done.
No.
So can you imagine, playing with your mates? And you see them, like the chemistry they have off the court is infectious.
it'll be good.
On the
It'll be
court,
good.
they're selfless. They play with, tenacity. I mean, Josh Hart playing. I don't know how you play 49 minutes a game, but if it's possible, Josh Hart's done it.
He's a machine. I love him, bro.
That's crazy.
He's a machine.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about seeing that. From a movement perspective, I don't know. I haven't really thought about any. For me, it's always about the Warriors, right?
I'll throw one at you.
I'm always looking at who can the front office at the Warriors bring.
Well, they stuffed up.
Tall, dominant, big man.
Yeah, stuffed up
to bring to pair with.
I don't get it.
Yeah, so that's always what I'm thinking about. But the smaller market teams, or not the smaller market teams, but the less exposure teams, they're the ones I'm interested in. Seeing Ja come back is always exciting. Yeah. I don't think he's got a good roster at the moment, but you give Ja.
He's got a good running man with Triple J.
You give Ja 82 games, and he's gonna produce.
They'll be a playoff team
as long as he stays healthy. Seeing the Hornets with LaMelo.
Yeah.
LaMelo saying that, he's really taking this injury issue seriously and he's going to start wearing ankle braces this season. Yeah. This will be exciting to see. And his brother, Lonzo Ball, I mean,
with that knee transplant, revolutionary.
As much as I hate the off-season bull crap, the shenanigans and everything, I really want to see him on the court.
Yeah, he's exciting to watch.
But in terms of moves, it's always Warriors-centric for me. So
there is one all-star player that I'm keeping an eye out to see what's going on with him, because I'm kind of putting him on that edge of the ledge, so to speak, where
edge of the ledge.
Okay. If that makes sense. Edge of the cliff, whatever you want to call it. Where if nothing happens for him this season, I think you'll see his career kind of crash and burn.
Who's that?
Talking about your mate Pubehead.
Trey. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. There's a lot of talk about, is this the end of Trey?
Yeah. See?
And he didn't get, the pairing with a big man to try to make him, more relevant, I guess.
And Atlanta Hawks definitely are not building around him. So this will be an interesting season to see what happens with him.
Can you imagine they send him to the Knicks?
Look, anything's possible, but
he gets booed every time he plays.
Will this be another situation of Isaiah Thomas? Because he is literally one injury away of being booted out of the NBA.
It's interesting. You're right. If I was Atlanta, if he gets injured, I'm sitting him for a long period of time. Try to, get more.
Well, he definitely won't get a contract extension,
because they've got next season. There's a good
high
draft
caliber.
class.
Yeah, yes, there's definitely replaceable point guards as well. So yeah, there'll be something to watch there, something happening there. But yeah, like I said, Milwaukee Bucks have been too quiet for me. I think there's something brewing there.
So on that, you mentioned what would you like to see from moves. I guess that's what you were focusing on. What about the NBA as a organization? What would you like to see?
Yes. What I would love them to come out to the Asian market and play some exhibition games down in Australia.
Yeah, they do that. I don't care about the exhibition games as much.
Well, okay, not so much exhibition, but actually play some league games down here like they do in Mexico and whatnot. I understand why they don't, but it'd be exciting to get the Asian, what they call us, the Pacific Asian market involved in some live games.
So I'm actually looking up something.
But I do know they are heavily involving the Middle East. In particular, who was it that they got to sponsor the NBA Cup?
Emirates.
Emirates. Some big moves and big plays are happening behind closed doors with the powers to be in the Middle East right now for the NBA, especially Adam Silver. He's slippery fella.
So with that, so some of the things I'd like to say, I don't know if you've been following it, but I've actually started watching a few of these highlights. I haven't been able to watch the games completely.
Yeah.
But as you know, the Philippines PBA, they've introduced the 4-point
the 4-point game, yeah.
And everyone's been talking about it. There's been a lot of talk whether the NBA should adopt it, et cetera, et cetera. We spoke about this when it was first announced, what it would mean and how it could impact us in the FIBA competition, because the Philippines play under the FIBA competition. But we're seeing it in action. So their season started a week or so ago, and it started hot. The first game, there was, I think, 3 or 4 4-pointers in that first game.
Nice.
And it's hard to judge it for me. I've got to watch a full proper game, because in the highlights, it looks like their defense is way too spread out. Like way too spread out. It seems unnatural the way they've got it set up. And the 4-point line, I'm actually a bit surprised how they did it. Obviously, the court is only so wide. So the 4-point line stops.
About to say that, yeah. So there's no corner 4
There's no corner 4 points. It's only at the top of the arc and the elbow.
Well, that's easy to defend, isn't it?
So it's a bit weird, but this is some of the shots. Let me just show you. Look how spread out they are.
That was a step back 3. 4. So what's a celebration for 4s? Show me.
I've seen people do this.
No.
I've seen they're doing
this.
But the
4 to the dome.
The interesting thing is I don't know how much they've planned, how much coaching has gone into the 4-point play yet, or the 4-point shot. But we're seeing the early stages of this. Now, whether it's
a smooth stroke,
whether it's a gimmick, whether it's here to stay, that's a travel.
Yeah, that looked like, I was just about to say that.
That was a travel. But it's become a staple in every game. I'll have to get the stats on it, but I've seen at least 3 or 4 4-pointers every game. Even in the opening game, I saw, I think, 3 4-pointers, and one of them was a buzzer beater.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told me about the buzzer beater.
Which brings me to this point. Now, everyone's been talking about the 4-point play, implementing it into the NBA, et cetera, et cetera. I think the best way to do it, what's one of the things that you hate seeing from an offensive, from the offense in the dying minutes? What's the one thing that you hate seeing?
Like wasting clock time? I mean, I don't hate seeing it, but I hate seeing that when I'm defending it.
6 seconds on the shot clock till halftime, or 6 seconds till halftime.
Either holding the ball, not taking the shot, or just waiting till the buzzer goes and then throwing the shot up.
So they don't ruin their stats. Yeah, they don't ruin their shooting percentage.
Yes, exactly.
I think if they implemented a 4-point shot or applied anyone that makes a shot in the clutch moments or in the maybe say 1 minute, within the 1 minute of each quarter, at the end of each quarter, or even at the end of the half or at the end of the game, if you shoot within 1 minute and it's beyond 30, 34 feet, whatever, anywhere on the court, it's a 4-pointer.
You know what?
I think that would kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Test it.
One thing that we used to love, one thing that we love, okay, and we see highlights of this, those crazy buzzer beater shots, those Hail Marys, and they go in.
J.R. Smith.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
they're electric. They're moments of the NBA that are stamped in history. You know, I'm sure you can name a few of them. I can name one in particular that Hornets guy. He did it 2 or 3 games
Kemba
in
Walker?
a row. No. He's a nobody and he's out of the league
Michael
now.
Kidd?
No. Lamb.
Terry Lamb?
No, that's an NRL player.
Is he?
It's Lamb. His name's Lamb. I
Lamb
can't
what?
remember the first name. But he made back-to-back, I think 3 games in a row. He got a buzzer beater to win it. And it was a deep half-court shot, basically. And I'm sure we can name many buzzer beaters. Steph Curry's had a couple.
Melo?
You know? Melo.
Melo had 2 in one game.
But beyond 34 feet?
They were deep.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying.
They were deep. That
If they-
was in Luol Deng's face both times.
So if you give incentive to the players to shoot that ball, give the fans something exciting to cheer about going into the end of the quarter, end of the half, end of the game, potentially even swing the match, make it worthwhile. Why am I saying this? Because in the Olympics, we saw this. Because points differential was massive. It was really important, especially how tight it was getting. And players were not holding on to that ball. They were shooting it. They were trying to make it from those ranges.
And as well,
it was exciting.
As well as the other team wanted to score to keep the points differential.
Yeah.
So it was both teams, even the winning team wanted to score. So
I see nothing but good from this. I haven't thought of anything that could be negative. I see all positives from this.
They could trial it in the All-Star game.
They've done it in the All-Star game. They have the 4-point line in the All-Star.
No, they have
the celebrity game.
No, it's not the 4-point line. They have the 4-point spots.
Yeah, they had the 4-point line and they did the spots, and then last season they did that weird thing where there was different.
Celebrity games shit.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they don't need to test it. Just apply it.
I don't know.
Apply 4 points for any shot beyond 34 feet, okay, within the 1 minute. It's kind of like a power play in hockey. You know, it's like that small time period that counts down, and within that period, everything beyond that range is a 4-pointer.
You know what? One thing I do like about the NHL over the NBA?
The fights?
No, that as well. But I like the way they sub. I don't know if you know how they do it in the NHL.
You can't do that in the NBA.
Do you know how they do it?
That was the one thing that they just come on.
They call it, well, obviously they have to call out switch and the referee has to hear it. And they just literally jump on and off.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like that would speed up the game so quick.
Can you imagine doing that on a fast break? Someone just comes out of nowhere and just blocks you.
The one that comes out the one comes in, one has to come off the court straight away.
Yeah, so what?
That'll be cool.
Bro, someone's in the back court. Okay, he's got no chance of getting back. And your bench is in the front court.
I would like it.
And they just come on and block you. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, man.
No way.
Yeah,
it doesn't
in your
work.
face.
It doesn't work.
I would love it.
But what do you think of that idea about the 4-point, applying a 4-pointer within the end of the periods? The last minute.
I do like it for the end of the minutes, not the whole game. End of the
halftime and full time.
Yeah, at the end of the quarters as well.
That's what I said.
But I don't like it implemented for the whole game, as in.
No, I'm saying only the last minute.
The reason why is I still feel in this era as well as the old era, that dunking on someone's still harder than taking the 3-point shot.
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Why?
I know what you want to say. You want to say the North Korean league. I know you love
100%.
that. But I don't think that's...
It's harder to do, especially with the talent we have in the league now.
The reason why I'm saying I don't like that is because it moves away from the game. At least you can justify a long distance shot for an extra point. I know what you're saying. It's harder, yes, but it's closer. I don't think you can justify it only because it's harder. Because there's also falling out of the court and throwing it over the backboard is harder. Are you now going to apply an extra point for that?
No, because that's
what I'm saying.
That's not regular.
Harder doesn't make for the logical conclusion that it should be more points.
But it's harder to take a longer distance.
Yeah, but that's not the only reason. The other reason is because distance makes extra points. If it's close to the ring, it's 2. If it's further away, it's 3. If it's further than that,
I
it should
understand,
be 4.
but I want to see more dunks and adding more points to dunk.
I think you'll get that. So one thing I noticed with the Philippines is they are spreading already. They're spreading the floor quite.
Yeah, but in the NBA, they already spread the floor that far anyway.
Yeah.
So
if there's more incentive,
well,
can you
Curry
imagine?
was responsible for that.
Can you imagine? We've seen 20 plus point leads dwindle quickly in the
that's
NBA.
nothing now in the NBA.
If you add 4 points, how much swing is there going to be?
There's big
you know
swings.
who will love it? The
Curry.
betting companies. The betting companies will love it.
We'll see what happens.
So yeah, that's my idea for the changes to the league. Another idea, I thought I'll throw that out there. So we've spoken about this quite a bit, and now it's becoming more talked about. So I thought I'd bring it up yet again. This is a different version of some of the things that we've been talking about. So the NBA, there's talks about having a continental championship tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
their version of a World Cup?
Kind of. So you put all the top talents like Luka, Jokic. In this scenario, they've got Rui, Siakam, Pat Mills, all on the one team. Okay, so it's made up of the overseas players versus the top teams in the NBA, or versus the top All-Stars.
Right.
Okay, so international versus USA, basically. I know they do something similar in the
sophomores
Phenom
versus,
games.
Rookies versus sophomores.
Yeah. So it's been proposed to do something similar to that. I don't think this is the greatest idea. I still think the only way this could work is if we have competing leagues. I'm staunch believer in this. If we have leagues that are on the same level as the NBA or competing level as the NBA, where players have, strong motivation to play for either one, not necessarily only favor the NBA as the top tier league, that's the only time where I can see a Champions League, Champions UEFA type league working. Yeah. But what do you think about this? This is being rehashed, and we can see Adam Silver's really trying to favor ideas like this.
Yep.
Any thoughts on this? I don't want to rehash the topics necessarily, but
my idea or suggestion for this would be if Adam Silver wants to kickstart it, my idea for it is to bring the championship teams of these leagues into one tournament at the end of the seasons. So you have the championship team of the EuroLeague, championship team of the NBA, championship team of the China League, championship team of the NBL, and get them into one knockout tournament.
FIBA rules.
Whatever rules they want to bring in.
I think you have to stick with FIBA.
Yeah, because the majority of teams will be FIBA. But yeah, that would kickstart the UEFA kind of trend. Only bring in the championship teams, not other teams.
The only problem is, like everyone's complained about and said, the stronger talent is in the NBA. So they are going to demolish weaker teams. So
not necessarily, man, because the Boston Celtics that won it last season, they wouldn't. I don't think they would dominate all the other teams necessarily.
Yeah, I don't like that setup, only because I still think it's too. There's too much advantage for the NBA teams. Still,
No,
I don't think
so.
I don't think the talent is spread enough. When you match up, when you play pickup, I don't think it's matched up well.
If you're playing FIBA rules, yes, they are matched up because
I think it'll help level it, but I don't think it'll completely make
Boston
it competitive.
Celtics have a center.
like I said, I think it'll help level it. But sorry, it'll help level it, but I don't think it'll sway it
I
too
think it
much in
will.
their favor.
If Boston Celtics didn't have a center, they're not going to be able to defend the key.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The only thing,
especially against the EuroLeague, they have big boys.
So your argument would work if we were talking about countries, okay?
No, not countries.
I'm saying if I was to critique it, I would say what we saw in the Olympics, okay, the reason why it was much closer was because the talent was spread. I don't think the talent is spread enough in this scenario. Like if you're playing Pathanaikos or whatever, they're not going to be like the one thing that we said about the American team was that they don't have enough experience playing together. That could be their Achilles heel. Okay, and we saw other teams that were gelling much more. They've played, several campaigns together, whether it be World Cup or otherwise. They've gelled really well. Stars that are not necessarily top tier in the NBA were like shining. Dennis Schroeder, Patty Mills, all these, players that in the NBA, they're just role players. They were stars for their countries. The reason for that is because of that experience together. Now, if you take a Boston Celtics or, any NBA team who has that experience together, you've nullified that advantage, in my opinion. And now to add to that you don't have that spread of skill.
Not necessarily, because...
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I do, but not necessarily, because the rostering, in particular for NBA, they build the roster for the NBA. And this is why I was bringing up the point that Boston didn't have a center, won't have a center to compete with, which is a key thing in FIBA rules, because you don't have a big boy to defend the key. You're already on the back foot.
Yeah, but if you're running and gunning,
they won't be running and gunning because they're going to be on the back foot to begin with. They're going to be spread thin.
I think they can outshoot. Teams. I think offense will win.
Not necessarily as well. FIBA rules, they can play more ugly defense as well. So they're going to be more physical.
Shoot over it.
No, I don't think so, because like I was saying, NBA teams build their rosters for NBA league.
I don't think you're going to get – I really don't think you're going to get a Euro team that's going to be strong enough
Not just Euro, you've got Australia
and this
as well.
happens. This happens
NBL.
pre-season. It's going to happen soon. You'll see exactly. I've watched this. They don't match up. There's the rare occasions where they beat them, like Adelaide 36ers beating who was it, OKC or whatever.
No, these exhibition games are played under NBA rules. We haven't seen the NBA team play in FIBA.
Like I said, FIBA will help level it somewhat, but I still don't think the spread the skills match up against each other. The talent matches up. I think that's where the biggest issue is going to be.
I disagree because I reckon the rostering of the team will be the biggest factor.
Yeah, I don't agree. But let's
But like I said, that doing it that way will kickstart everything.
I'd like to see what yours thinks about this, but I strongly think that it won't work. Not unless, like I said, there's
plus
a competing
NBL
league.
plays not just NBL, but I think FIBA plays at a quicker pace.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'm talking about fast breaks wise. Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
The fast breaks in FIBA are faster.
No, I don't think so. No, the NBA. I mean, you hear all the old heads talking about the NBA, about how they're just running around. That's all it is. That's
they're
all
popping
the game
threes,
is.
but that's not
quick.
fast break.
It's a quicker game. If I was to compare it, it's like comparing EPL to La Liga or A League. EPL is high flying.
Adam
high
Silva,
intensity.
get it together, and we'll see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah. You'll see in the preseason. I mean, even though they're playing in the NBA rules, surely you can
No.
at least see some of that.
You can't say anything. It's
They're
under
getting
NBA
dominated.
rules.
They're getting
Yeah,
dominated.
it's NBA rules.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't agree with you saying using as evidence because you're playing a team that's built for NBA.
Yeah, but it's still the same team.
Yeah, the team would be playing under FIBA rules. It's a whole completely different ball game.
I think you make it 3-on-3 and they'll still win.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Speaking of 3-on-3, DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing 3-on-3 for, I think, some Chinese team.
Oh, yeah.
So after, his stint with Taiwan, he's now transitioning into 3-on-3. Do you think that's a good move for him? You've seen it's the proper 3-on-3, not
to make some money, yeah.
Not the big 3-on-3.
No, to make some money, yeah. But he's done.
Do you think he's capable of playing that high pace? Speaking of high pace, 3-on-3 is no joke, man. Continuous play.
Depends. Are they playing the FIBA 3-on-3 or the big three?
I've been put off playing it. Like, I keep seeing all these tournaments coming up. That'd be cool playing 3-on-3. But seeing how it's continuous play.
Which rules are they playing on?
It's that. It's the proper,
FIBA.
the international 3-on-3. I don't think he can hang.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Depends how healthy he is. Because I loved...
I don't think he can hang.
I loved watching DeMarcus Cousins in the league.
Yeah, same. But 3-on-3, man, dude's too big, man.
We'll see.
Now, a couple of interesting things. So, the WNBA.
Seriously? Why?
I have to
Yours isn't here to speak with you about
I have to mention something. I think you'll like one of these topics. You'll like.
No.
You will.
No.
So the first one is Caitlin Clark still breaking records. As a rookie, she's leading the league in assists, I think. Angel Reese, also a rookie, leading in double-doubles. We've seen how she's getting them, though. But the most interesting thing for me is there's a match coming up between Caitlin Clark's Indian Fever and Angel Reese's Chicago Sky. Guess how much the tickets are going for?
$5. Fit me.
The highest ticket is $334.
Waste of money.
Price of the most expensive ticket of the Fever sets a new record, $334 for the ticket. But court seats, I've seen some of them are almost as much as what they're getting paid. Some of the court, I think there was one...
they need to pay back Adam Silver for the money they've lost.
One of the courtside tickets was more than the WNBA salary.
I'm not surprised.
Can you imagine rocking up to work?
I'm not surprised.
And you're looking at a dude who paid your whole salary to watch you play.
In one night. Dude.
Your whole annual salary. Or your whole season salary. Shit's crazy, man.
Go airball layup.
That's crazy.
He's gonna be paid that much to watch someone airball layup.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know what that means for women's basketball moving forward, man. Like, if this continues this way, because you've got another couple of players coming up through the college ranks. This new girl, Juju Watkins or whatever her name is, she's dunking. Like, and she plays high pace and fast pace. And then you've got this Aussie chick. I don't know if you've seen this. She played for the what are they called? Are they the Waratahs or the what's the women's Australian?
You're asking the wrong person.
But check this out, man. She was balling, bro.
But anyone can be balling in that WNBA.
No, she was balling, bro.
I could be balling in the WNBA. It doesn't mean I'm a good basketball player.
No, it wasn't WNBA. You'll see. I gotta pull it up.
Worse, it's even worse. You're not helping your case right here.
No. You'll see. You know what? I'm gonna just let the video Explain it. Explain it. All right, here we go. Check this out.
Check it out. She was playing outdoors, bro. This is not in.
This is Venice Beach, bro.
Doesn't matter,
Venice Beach. She was schooling these guys, man.
bro. They're not pro players,
Doesn't matter. Look at her movements, man.
bro. They're sitting there watching her ass. They're not even playing.
Bro, she's got game.
They're letting her shoot.
No, watch.
They're not even playing defense
watch.
on her.
Watch, she takes it straight to the
Did
hole.
anyone even touch her body? No one even touched her. If that was a guy, it would have been knocked on his
She's
ass.
touching paint, bro, against these guys.
Oh my God, bro. Seriously. If they let me run into the paint like
bro.
that, I'd get a layup too.
Nah, man. She's balling.
They
bro.
opened up the lane for her, man.
No.
They did. Look, that guy's watching.
She just broke his ankles, bro.
No, that guy in the white
She
shirt
just broke
stood
his
there
ankles.
watching.
She just broke his ankles.
He's like, I'm going to stand here and watch. I'm not going to play defense.
So that was, I think, Steph Reed is her name. She plays in the WNBA as well, I think. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
No, was it?
I think it was. And lastly,
Oh, yours. Where are you, yours? You need someone to talk to about WNBA.
lastly, during the Olympics, remember I said to you it was very unusual. Every time they came out of the tunnel,
You mean stairs?
whatever.
That was ridiculous.
Steph Curry and LeBron James, I noticed they'd be talking to the camera, like narrating.
Oh, yeah, they were doing the doco.
And I said to you,
yeah.
I bet you there's a documentary coming out.
There is, yeah.
It'll be on Netflix.
Yeah.
So
I'm not surprised.
Netflix has announced that there is going to be a documentary. When is it premiering? 2025, covering the 2024 Olympic basketball tournament. It was one of the most historic basketball tournaments. If you look at it from, it's never been this competitive. The world game has never been this competitive from a country perspective. You know that. It hasn't.
Yeah, but does it deserve a documentary?
I don't know. There was a lot of storylines, but yeah,
Okay, let's put it this way. Does it deserve a documentary just for America?
it's not just for America.
Is
That's
that
the thing.
the whole tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, then that's all right.
Well, that's what they're saying. It's the basketball tournament.
Well, if we watch it and it looks like the main characters in America, then yeah, no, that's a fail, bro.
That's pretty much it for this week. There is another documentary that I mentioned that's coming out. There's a trailer that's already released for, I think they're releasing it just before the season starts. It features Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and a few other stars. I think they're calling it Starting Five or something like this. That's another documentary to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure exactly what the focus is, but be interesting. Behind the
Would it be
scenes.
interesting if they released a basketball movie that's decent, not this bullshit White Man Can't Jump that they released.
They haven't done one in a while, have they?
What was your thoughts on that? The remake of White Man Can't Jump.
I didn't mind it.
As a standalone movie, or as a movie that tried to get,
They didn't
or
follow.
not get, but fill in the shoes of White Man Can't Jump?
No, I think they tried to reboot it. I don't think they tried to call back to anything.
I reckon they should just pick the new title.
It was like the Spider-Man thing.
I
They
didn't like
they
it.
rebooted it like how
If
many
they named it
times?
something else, it would have been a good movie, but left a bad taste in my mouth.
I didn't
The
mind
fact they used
I
the
like
same
the fact
title.
that they played. They could play.
You know what would be a good movie? Above the Rim Part 2.
No, because if
Yes.
they do that wrong,
Part 2, not a reboot. Oh, Part 2.
yeah, if they do that wrong,
You know who would be a good actor for that?
Who?
50 Cent.
dude's like 500 years old, man.
The guy acts in his TV show, Power.
What, to take Tupac's role, you mean?
No, as it to be one of the New York gangsters.
Yeah, but why would you do the same thing?
Well, that's what it was based about.
No,
Yeah, it was.
no, I'm saying I wouldn't.
That's what Above the Rim was about. It was about gangs.
I wouldn't want it to be messed with. Just leave above the rim as it was.
No, well, that's what they did with White Man Can't Jump for me.
Yeah, but that's more.
No, they ruined it.
White Man Can't Jump was more global than Above the Rim. It was more popular. It was in terms of the way they pushed it. Yeah, but in
saying that, the era, what was that, another basketball movie? They're Up There.
The Air Up There.
That was more global than White Man Can't Jump.
No.
You don't reckon?
No.
Disney bloody pumped it
Wesley
up.
Snipes was in his prime and Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
They released Money Trains shortly after that.
Who did the Air Up There have? Kevin...
I don't know their names.
Kevin...
Is it Mutombo?
No,
it wasn't Mutombo.
The players, different story. There was...
who was the players? Were they real players?
The white guy. Who was he? It was some big
You know who would have been better actor than that white guy? The guy from Mighty Ducks. What's his name?
Estevez. Estevez.
Whatever.
Or Charlie Sheen.
No, not Charlie Sheen.
It was his brother or his cousin or whatever.
The one that's got the...
Emilio Estevez.
He would have been a better actor in that movie.
You know, they're brothers, I think. Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Martin Sheen.
Oh, really?
Martin Sheen's their dad, I think. That's the Familia.
You know who else would have been a good actor for that movie?
Who?
Michael J. Fox.
Dude's like...
Yeah, before. He would have been okay during that time. He would have played a good role in...
Anyway, don't mess with Above the Rim. That's all I got to say. Leave Above the Rim.
Bring out Above the Rim part 2. Oh, you know what? Bring out a series.
What?
Yeah, make that a series. That would be good to watch.
Let it go, bro. Let it go.
Bring it out.
That's it for this week. I think we'll leave it there. Nice and short and sweet. We'll be coming back next podcast with probably more predictions about the 2024-2025 season.
We might do the draft.
Might do the draft. So I think with the predictions, we'll start from the most coveted awards and then work our way back. So we'll leave the championship and...
We can do that the following week. I think it's a bit too early.
I think we do MVP, individual ones. I think we can start with the individual awards.
Okay, we'll do that.
So we'll start with the individual awards, and then as the season gets closer, we'll start doing our predictions because there might be some more. This is going to be hard moves.
Because Rookie of the Year is up for grabs for anyone, man.
Yeah.
I reckon. Did anyone cut your?
I reckon Chet can have another crack at it.
Did anyone catch your eye from the draft?
I don't even know who was in the draft.
There is one guy that caught my eye. Rob. Is that his name? Rob? He was drafted by the Spurs and got traded to T-Wolves.
I don't know who's in the draft, to be honest.
Caught my eye. He reminds me of young Jamal Crawford.
All I know is that guy from the Philadelphia 76ers. He does all those TikTok videos.
No, I don't know him.
I saw him in the press... you know, when they do the media days or whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't follow the draft at all. I wasn't interested.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bronny gets it.
I'm waiting. Can you imagine? Father and son rookie of the year. Has that even been done?
No. I don't. Seriously, I don't know who got drafted.
You know, having said that, we didn't speak about Bronny this episode, but dude's looking like he's been popping some PEDs or injecting some PEDs.
Well, he's playing one-on-ones.
I've seen
Garland and who was that?
He's making them look like midgets, though. Have you seen them next to each other?
Solid, yeah. He looks solid,
dude.
He must be doing his dad's routine.
PEDs. PEDs. I'm telling you, there's no way.
No, it's stem. That stem. What do they call it? The stem
dude
cell.
Dude looks like he's a full-grown man.
Yeah, they're stem cells.
He looks like he's. Dude's shorter than Zion, but he looks like he's as big as Zion.
He takes his dad's stem cells and injects it to himself. It's not
crazy, man.
It's not legal.
It's crazy. So that'll be... Look, we didn't speak about the Lakers. I kind of wanted to have a week off LeBron.
They didn't.
So we'll pick that up.
No, it was good. It was a good discussion we had.
Yeah, so we'll pick that up as the weeks come closer. And yeah, as you mentioned, look out for the draft simulation that we're planning
Yes.
for the season through 2K, NBA 2K.
Most likely 24.
Yeah.
It might be 25. But what we might do is do the draft first and then probably a separate episode for the sim.
Yeah, we can do that.
Hopefully yours is still in Sydney, but most likely it might be.
We'll have him online. Just give him some time to
Bloody
move.
yours, get your shit together.
But with all that being said, guys, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, hit that. Actually, let us know in the comments. What topics would you like to see? What do you think about some of the topics that we've covered? Do you think that the FIBA game needs to be more global? What did you think with the aftermath of the Olympics and how some of those exciting moments can be replicated moving forward? Let us know in the comments. With all that being said, Moz, send us out.
As always, give us a like, give us a subscribe, get your trolls out. And it was a pleasure having you this week. We out.
Peace.